Today, we are going to be talking about one simple truth. If he wanted to, he would. And these, ladies, are 24 roses
Costco.
from Costco. And they smell so good. And and they're in full bloom, just the way I like it. And it is no surprise to Darian that I love me some fresh red roses in the house.
There are roses of any kind.
Honestly, roses of any color, besides the crazy joints like the blues and the purples, y'all can keep that.
No.
But baby, if he wanted to, he would. And granted, we have been living together for 6 years now. And Darian has had more than one opportunity to experience my love, the joy, and just the overall boost of energy that I feel when flowers are in the house. I also want to preface this by saying that Darian going to Costco to complete a grocery run was not always combined with him coming home with roses. There were several conversations that we had to have where one thing about me, I'm going to get what I want to get for myself regardless. Would I appreciate and value the love of my life buying them for me? I would. And also, I am not going to wait around for that. So when I lived by myself in Seattle, I literally lived, so if you've been to Seattle, you know the famous Pike Place Market.
It's a fantastic place.
It's beautiful. I lived 2 streets up from Pike Place Market. So every Sunday, part of my weekly routine was stopping at Pike Place, getting a fresh bouquet of roses for myself, bringing them home, putting the fertilizer in, and putting them in some water. Letting them sit for the week, do their thing, knowing that they would die, yes, but appreciating and valuing them when they were in my home because they just added such beauty to my 600 square foot studio.
Apartment.
And so why would that change when I'm now living with Darian? And yeah, that just never added up. Now I will say, to be completely honest, I don't have fresh flowers in the house every single Sunday anymore. That's just not really a priority. I mean, when I don't have the fresh flowers, we got these.
Good and fake.
Good and fake, but
They get the job done.
they get the job done. And we have some tulips over there too.
Also fake.
Also fake. But I say all that to say, if he wanted to, he would. I'm going to hand the mic over to you.
Funny thing is, I didn't always want you. Straight up and down. Where did I get this from?
Probably some man.
It was some man. It was from, all right. It was from a show on Netflix that we watched. I don't think it was Netflix or Hulu, whatever. The way these flowers are gonna die anyway, so I'm gonna buy them for you.
You need to say it louder because you said
These
that with
flowers are gonna die. Why am I buying you flowers? Buying flowers is stupid because they're just gonna die anyway. Who cares? I want to get you something. I mean, maybe I get you a plant, but
oh my God, you used to be so big on getting me a plant for Valentine's Day. I was like, please don't. I already have 10 of them, 20 of them in the house anyway. Sorry, go ahead.
And in reality, I'm not gonna get you a plant either because at that stage of life, I was not thinking about that. I was not intentional about buying flowers or even buying plants for that matter. Whether it's for myself or for anybody else. I was just using that as just another way to avoid buying flowers for no good reason other than laziness. just not wanting to spend the money on something that was going to die anyway. And being excuses and being selfish and inconsiderate. Because just because I don't want flowers, that doesn't mean she doesn't want flowers. That doesn't mean just because I don't want to spend money on something that's going to die anyway. That doesn't mean she has to go without, because she was going to get the flowers regardless.
And I was going to enjoy them. I honestly would get the flowers regardless and act as if the thought of him even getting them for me wasn't a thing. So when I come home, no, I'm taking them back. So when I come home, I am going to trim the flower stems with joy. I'm going to take the leaves off so that they can fit into the vase. And I actually prefer the roses in my vases to not be like inundated with leaves. With joy. I'm going to arrange them with joy. And I'm not going to prioritize or centralize the fact that this man didn't give me flowers.
Now, the logic, and I just want to debunk this myth. I want to poke the biggest hole in this logic of
flawed.
Yeah, it's a fallacy.
Fallacy.
If I'm to use that same logic and apply it to other areas of life, it doesn't stand. So, I'm not going to buy flowers because they're going to die anyway. Take that same logic of any living organism is going to eventually die. Why feed myself if I'm just going to die anyway? I'm just going to not eat. Who cares?
Or why buy this $200 meal when I'm going to poop it out anyway?
What's the point?
Silly.
There's no point at all. And that logic just does not make sense. So, to anybody who uses that logic, it's one thing to say, I simply just don't like flowers. That's cool for you. However, if someone in your life, namely your spouse, likes flowers, this isn't a gendered thing, but someone you love in your life enjoys flowers and you don't, it's honestly still your responsibility to show up for your partner, show up for your spouse, show up for the person that you love, saying, even though it's not my cup of tea, I know it's yours. And I want to show that I care for you, show that I'm considerate of your feelings, and say, here's something that you enjoy because you enjoy it. It's a very simple concept. Very simple concept. I didn't understand it for a long periodic time. Now I do. And I really, really advocate for anybody else who's on the sound waves of this voice from this video. Please, just buy the flowers, bro. Or sis, or them. Just buy the flowers. It's not that deep. It's really not. Or maybe it is that deep because it is a clear sign that you care about someone else besides yourself. It's about putting your selfishness, ego, and pride to the side at first. And then once you dial to yourself, then it's about, I just want to make this person in my life happy.
I'm just basking in it.
If he wanted to, he would. If she wanted to, she would. If they wanted to, they would.
It's simple.
It's a very simple concept. Very genuinely. And this is after numerous conversations that we've had about this, about the situation. Numerous conversations. So it's not like she just expects me to read her mind. He's like, you should just know I want flowers. No, we've had conversations. She has clearly displayed that she enjoys fresh flowers. It's very obvious, well stated, clear. Any other actions would either be forgetfulness, dismissive, or pure neglect. or not having the means to do it at the moment in time, in which case you communicate that and say, maybe I couldn't get you 2 dozen, but I picked some flowers from somebody's garden without them knowing.
Or get some chrysanthemums that are like half the price.
Or I just got you some $5 joints from Food Lion. Or I got you this fake flower, because I know you like flowers, and this is the cheapest one that I can get. I'm going to get you 2 dozen one day, but until then, I'm still going to care and show up the best I can for you, because you matter to me a great deal. So it's not just about the actual flowers itself. It's the thing behind the thing. It's being caring, considerate of the wants and needs of others. Putting that before your own. Yeah.
Thanks. And part of this, the reality of like why we wanted to share this video is not for me to boast and be like, oh, my man got me flowers. It is in hopes that if you are someone who has been negligent or has been
on the receiving end of negligence?
Yeah. Well, I really want to speak to the person who's been like, because of my pride or ego or because of what I want, I'm not going to do XYZ for my partner. My hope with like sharing this video is that you don't have to have the numerous conversations that we had in order to get to this place. And I think that that's the beauty of like sharing lived experiences, is that when you can see someone who is doing or who has done what you are currently doing and has overcome it and is now on the other side and can be like, it is worth the sacrifice, or it is worth
the change.
Like, this
ain't even a sacrifice. This is just literally just a change of habit.
Yeah, choosing different.
Just choose differently.
Like, you're going to save yourself a lot of heartache, a lot of headache, a lot of unnecessary conversations going back and forth. And I mean, I think same for you. Like, whenever it comes to your love for things like popcorn, or when it comes to, I'm trying to think, you don't really love like plants. You don't really love flowers. What is something, I mean, snacks as a concept, Darian loves him some snacks. So even if I'm not going to eat the snacks, for example, after his marathon a couple weeks ago, I literally went to the store, got him all these snacks, those of which I just checked, and I was like, dang, you ate all of them? Like, I didn't have any intentions of eating any of them, but it's like, because I know that that's what would light his heart up and would bring him joy, I'm gonna get it. And it's like, what am I losing? So yeah, you truly do have to die to yourself in marriage, and you do have to be conscious and aware enough to understand what it is that your partner likes and choose. If he wanted to, he would. If she wanted to, she would. And I think the constraints, also one point that I do want to also share, constraints in what you can do definitely shift based off of what you have in your bank account, proximity to where y'all are, time that you have, and understanding that and being realistic, I think, is also important, because the same way that there are certain things that we have agreed to for Darian to take care of now, especially being fully transparent, like paying for the mortgage, paying for the utilities, paying for groceries, like that is stuff that I could not have expected him to do when he was a full-time student in grad school. But with what he had, he did the best he could. And I also, being on the receiving end, had to understand and respect that. And so I think, you know, having the honest conversations around, this is what I actually have capacity for, and these are the ways that I can show you love now based off of what I have. Like, being honest about that versus going into debt, you know, trying to please someone, or versus not being honest and having the money, but just being like, I want to spend it on an Xbox instead. Like, I think communication is so important, and being open and transparent on both sides is really important. So I'm grateful, and I'm one second. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for our growth. I know that we've definitely, I mean, it's been 10 years now that we've known each other, and we've seen each other through various versions of ourselves, various financial realities, various geographic realities, where at one point I was
wow,
in
this is for 3
Seattle.
years.
Yeah, at one point I was in Seattle, he was in Raleigh. So what do I look like expecting him, a grad student, to be delivering flowers to my front door every
Every Sunday.
Sunday? Like, that really never crossed my mind until just now. And for some people they'd be like, why not? But that's your relationship, and like that's what works for you. So yeah, it's important to have the awareness. Like, I'm not expecting him to bring home a Chanel bag once a month. Like, but for some people, like, that's what you talked about with your partner, and love that for you. Um, but I'd rather, a trip. Anyways, here's the mic.
And on the other side of it, as the person, to your point about communication and being abundantly clear about what you actually can and just don't have the capacity to do in any given phase of life or season, that's really important for the other person to also acknowledge and consider and understand, because oftentimes the root of conflict is when expectations are so disconnected from reality, and constantly wanting what is impossible widens that gap every day, and then it leads to resentment. But in that case, it's like undue resentment, because if you're literally upset at a cat for not barking, if you're literally upset at a cat for not barking,
Can you imagine Whiskey barking? I'd be like, are you good? Did you eat dog food? What is going on, buddy?
but it did take time also on your end for you to literally merge expectation with reality.
Oh yeah, because I was living in Seattle, where like big tech reality was very different from like real world reality. Like, we would be having conversations about like, oh, let's go on a trip here. It would be like a $2,000 trip, and we'd be like, oh well, that's only like a week of pay. Like, we could do that. And it's like, huh? It's just a lot that we normalized in Seattle, like in the tech like industry, where I'm like, this is not normal. There was just a lot, but I mean, it was a fun time. I don't regret it, but yes, my reality and like what I saw and what I experienced was very different from
not reality. Well, I lied to you not. I lied to you not. There was, and I remember the receipt. There was one grocery haul, shopping at Aldi, and I spent $39 and like 60 something cents on 2 weeks worth of groceries, and I was excited about it.
He was so excited. He FaceTimed me that night and told me, and I was like, wow, that's amazing.
2 different realities, bro. 2 completely different realities.
But you also were on a journey where you were trying to pay off, like, you had a little bit of undergrad
debt. Yeah, I had
debt,
like $5,600 of debt that I was also paying off at that moment. Like my first year of grad school student loan debt, I had $5,600, and I went the Dave Ramsey route of like the ultimate shrink, and I paid that debt off in 9 months. It was I in 9 months off of $14 an hour from a grad student stipend on a 9-month contract, where I had to supplement my income by cutting hair on the side. No, you couldn't tell me nothing.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell me nothing.
And so I had to find it deep down in the depths of my soul to be happy.
Why had to be
for
so
you.
deep?
Because I was like, that is such a great accomplishment, babe. Amazing.
Why so deep in there?
What did you get? Canned tuna and some white bread and
No, I never had white bread. Never ate canned tuna either.
That's what was going through my mind. I was like,
No, what also helped was that I wasn't living alone. I had 3 housemates.
oh yeah, and they would buy groceries with each
And
other.
like we would crowdsource, and one of our housemates, he was like, I don't know what he was doing, but he was breaded up, and like
big old steaks.
he would go to like Restaurant Depot and like buy food for the crib for us. He was great. Shout out to him. But yeah, he was a grown man. He was the oldest of us in the house. He was like in his 30s, like early 30s or something. Everybody else was like
early 20s.
Early 20s, like yeah, like 20 to 24, 23. That was like our age range, and then that was him. He was like 33. But either way, we was all, you know, we was all getting it together. So
yeah,
even still, I was on a different financial plane than she was, just as a concept. So even when it came to things like where if I wanted to, I would. There were certain things just I literally just couldn't.
Right, like you weren't about to be buying me a first class plane ticket to
anywhere.
I was gonna say Dubai, but but actually, in hindsight, we even though there were a lot of trying conversations, we did handle that season pretty well.
Because if we didn't, we wouldn't be together.
This is true.
Straight up and down, there were several moments where it was like, what are we doing?
Mm-hmm.
You looking a little bit too hot.
No, I'm literally like, dang, this just got real, because there's definitely some combos where I was like, but love.
That was awesome. One time I was
God.
like, what is happening? What is happening? Why? It's like, why is it I just can't do nothing right? What?
Oh yeah.
What?
That was an era.
It's like, bam. What? So.
Growth. So yeah, do the best you can with what you have when you have it.
And don't
for the people that you love.
And don't just rely on booty excuses that you picked up from some random person from a movie.
Especially if they were not in a happy and healthy marriage, because they were probably lying to you. They were probably feeding their ego with what they wanted to say and put out there, whether it was on social media, whether it was in the movie, whether it was in the show, whether it was in the skit. I'm really looking forward to people not taking the advice of
men with microphones first.
Can I try again?
No, it's
well, it is the men with microphones, yes, but it's also like, let's be honest, there are some women out there.
They really out here trifling as well. So it's
that's why I was like, let me try again.
So we're not even going to just lean into gender stereotypes. We're going to talk about human beings who are speaking
self-fulfilling.
Speaking from selfishness, ego, and pride.
Yeah, it's really bad. Like if you are desiring marriage
or a relationship
or a healthy relationship, happy relationship, like, why are you listening to your friends that are miserably single
or miserably married?
Miserably married.
Like the through line is in the miserable, regardless of relationship status. The through line is in like, there's a lot of people that are in very troubling relationships. Whether you see it on the front of like why they're always verbally arguing and accosting each other, versus there's the front of being happily married, but deep down they're emotionally gone.
Yeah.
And there ain't nothing behind them eyes.
Yeah.
Nothing. Just depravity. And it's tough.
And this
It's
actually crazy enough. Sorry, go ahead. Were you gonna say something else?
It's tough.
Okay. Today's Peloton workout with Alex Toussaint, he said, you cannot have a negative. Oh man, you cannot have a negative. Okay.
You already have the mic. Now you have to get.
On today's Peloton ride with Alex Toussaint, he said, you cannot have a negative mindset and expect to have a positive reality. I think I got that wrong. Wait, was that right or wrong?
That was good.
Oh yeah, no. See, I might have mixed up a word here and there, but you cannot have a negative mindset and expect to have a positive lifestyle or expect to have a positive reality. I'm gonna have to go back and watch it. And I actually took a note on my phone, but we're recording from my phone right now, so I can't go back and fact check myself. But you get the gist. Like, you can't be walking around negative, correlating to. You can't be over here trying to get advice from someone who is negative or someone who is in a miserable relationship and expecting to then have a positive, happy, and healthy reality within the realm of the relationship that you are either currently in or aspiring towards. Like, the two is oil and water. So that goes in life, like, but it's also very relevant in this conversation we're having right now.
Yeah, and I will note that when seeking advice or counsel from others, there is a consideration of people who
You whispering?
they can hear me.
I don't think so.
There's a consideration of people who are coming from difficult circumstances. They can give you advice on what not to do. They can give you pointers on things to look out for, because those are the things that they experienced firsthand, and that led to the end of a relationship. But if you're really gonna get sound counsel along your journey, get as many positive examples around you as possible, and like in real life and in sound relationship books and the Bible and
social media,
because like there are positive representations of marriage and relationships on social media as well. You just have to gotta approach all this stuff with a discerning heart and put it through the right filter.
You dropped it before you got it. Thank you. And
I thought I dropped it into your hand.
No, I fell on the ground. Right. And when you're looking at relationships online, don't just go for the ones that are always chipper and happy. I think the toxic positivity, and also just like the importance of like looking the part and seeming as though you got it all together, is actually one of the biggest deterrents of people understanding the ins and outs of marriage, where every single day y'all are not going to be BFFs. Like, y'all are not going to like each other. And no, marriage does not have to be hard, but marriage does take work, and it does take navigating situations like this with these goddamn flowers. Like, this didn't happen on day one. Would it have been nice?
This took years.
Yeah, but like...
And it doesn't have to take years.
It doesn't have to take years.
Literally, transparently, this took years.
Yeah, but there's, I think, I know that two couples that deeply impacted our relationship even prior to getting married. I'll say mine, Kadeen and Deval Ellis, and Darian's, Mr. and Mrs. Kev on Stage.
Why would you give me the mic and then
And Darian's?
Yes. Kevin and Melissa Fredericks.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, like they also had podcasts, YouTube, books, talked about the challenges that they experienced, how they navigated them, how they overcame them. And then we've also seen the beauty of like the happy, the joyful, the the building of the family and all of that. And I think it's just that is what we of course like want to ensure that we're sharing. Like we're not just gonna only share the good of like my man got me roses, but also like it took work and it took time and effort and conversation in order for this to happen. So we hope y'all continue to just like join us on this journey as we.
The number one definition.
Hello?
Number one definition of a solid relationship is conflict resolution. The way that y'all resolve conflict will determine the health of your relationship, short term and long term.
Serious, yes.
You show me an amazing relationship.
Show me how y'all handle it.
Show me how you navigate conflict, big and small. If you grow as a result of conflict, you're solid. You're solid. Because just like you said, you're not going to wake up liking your partner every day. You're not going to wake up liking yourself every day.
This is true.
So, like, the point of it all is if you're really trying to gauge your own relationship and you're trying to gauge how other people around you, how they navigate relationships, it's a very important factor is how they navigate conflict.
Thank you. So on that note, if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to like and subscribe. And also leave a comment if there's anything that resonated with you, if there's anything you want to challenge us on, because we are here for the dialogue. And with that, we will see you in tomorrow's video. Remember, if he wanted to, if she wanted to, if they wanted to, they would. And with that, I'm going to go trim the end.
Yeah, that's good.
All right, see? And with that, I'm going to go trim the ends of my roses and put them in the vase with joy. And I'll have the extra sprinkle of joy because my man got them for me. All right, y'all have a good night. Bye. Yes, say peace. Deuces.
No,
Peace. Exactly.